Welcome to my Draw My Life. My name is Hayli Austin. I am the oldest of four. There's a disgusted face because my name is spelled that way, and I have never been able to find a souvenir of anything anywhere. Thanks, Mom. I was born September 19th, 2000. Just best day ever. Okay, just best day. It's not really the best day. JK. And by JK, I mean J.K. Rowling, because that's Hermione Granger's birthday. It's also National Pirates Day, but I prefer to just say that it's Hermione Granger's birthday. This is me. I was born 6 pounds and 9 ounces, I think. So that's pretty tiny. I'm 15 right now, and I'm only 4'9", and it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting any taller, so that's a good thing. This is my sister Paige. She is 13 and she was born September 21st, 2002. I didn't really like it when she was born because I wanted to be an only child, but she's pretty cool now. I help her with her homework a lot. Okay, but really she's a lot taller than me. I think she's like 5'3", so she's quite a bit taller. Then there's my little brother Tucker. He's the only boy in the family, so he gets all of the attention, even though he's a middle child. He was born, October 11th, 2007. He's 8 right now, and he's just barely getting out of 2nd grade. And he's pretty excited. He likes school, mostly math. This is Carly. She was born 1 year later. Her birthday is March 15th, 2008. She has a crown because she thinks she is royalty, and she treats all of us like peasants. Because she's the youngest, and I mean, who wouldn't? I would if I was the youngest. She's 7 right now, and she's just barely getting out of 1st grade. She likes math too, but she likes reading more. She's gonna be like me. So my life was going pretty great. You know, I was the oldest of 4. I had everything going for me, and I was getting pretty much amazing. Okay, I was getting a lot of friends. I was doing really well in school, and I loved everything. I was a pretty happy kid, actually. I was always making jokes and laughing and dancing and singing. I was always doing something. So it was going pretty great, I guess. Normal stuff that a kid does. And then things started to go wrong. So this is how my life was going. And then it just stopped when I was 5 and a half. So why did things suddenly get so bad? Why was there such a tremendous drop in my life? Well, we figured it out about a month later. I couldn't walk at all. I was basically completely bedridden. I couldn't get up, I couldn't stand, and we found out I had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. I know, arthritis, it's only what old people get. I know. You've been hearing that for 10 years. But I have juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and it felt like the end of the world to me because I loved sports. I loved soccer. Soccer was my life, and I pretty much felt like I had a terminal disease. I mean, it wasn't that bad, really. It was just, it was basically just, it was joint pain, so I might have been stretching the truth a little bit. But I was 5, so get off my back, please. I tried to keep up and play soccer, and I tried to do all the things that a kid would do, but it wasn't the same anymore. I couldn't run for too long because my knees would start to hurt, and I couldn't do the things I used to do. I couldn't ride bikes with my sister for very much anymore. I could ride it a bit, but not as much. Maybe once or twice around the block. I couldn't go on hike. I couldn't hike anymore, and that broke my heart because I loved hiking with my grandpa. So right now I'm 15, and I have been diagnosed. I was diagnosed with JRA when I was 5, but it spreads. It spreads a lot. At first, it was just my right knee, and then my left knee, and then it decided, hey, I'm gonna move everywhere. So 98% of me is arthritis. Well, it's not that bad, but it feels that bad some days. Right now, I have it in both sides of my jaw, so I can't eat steak, and sometimes I can't eat apples. It's in my fingers, so sometimes I can't, if it's bad, I can't get a hold of things very well. I have it in my wrists, so no push-ups, no lifting heavy things, nothing that would require putting force on my wrists. It's in both of my knees, and now it's in my toes too. So that doesn't really do much, but it's there. And my ankles. So that doesn't affect me too much because I was already used to not being able to walk, but now it's just in 2 places instead of 1. Well, technically 4 instead of 2, but you know what I mean. So that was a pretty hard time in my life, just kind of learning how to deal with having it being different. Um, Schooling was one thing. I loved school. I still do. So I love coming to school. I love learning. I love seeing everybody. I went to Downey Elementary. So sports, like I said, were a really big part of my life. I played soccer. I wanted to play. Well, I played basketball for about a year, but that didn't work out just because of the arthritis. And I wanted to play softball or volleyball. I couldn't. I had to stop playing soccer when I reached 7th grade because my arthritis got so bad. I never even got to try volleyball. Um, Everything was just no. It was the doctor. It was doctors saying this and telling me not to do this. It would, to me, it just seemed like a list of things I couldn't do. I never saw, well, I get out of PE because a lot of kids wanted to get out of PE. But to me, it was just one less thing I get to do. Um, I went to Downey Elementary School. Um, it was a normal school. It was pretty small. There's probably about 18 kids in my class at the absolute most, and there was only one class of each grade. Go Bulldogs! That was our mascot. Eventually, we got a giant stuffed bulldog named Mr. Gurr. It's pretty cool. Um, and things were going okay. I just couldn't go to recess and run around like the rest of my friends. I usually just sat and read or something like that. Then after elementary school, so kindergarten through 6th is elementary school, and then 7th and 8th is middle school. And I went to Marsh Valley Middle School. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but it's my home. It's where my entire family has gone, on my mom's side anyway. And that's when the trouble started. That's supposed to say uh-oh, but my handwriting is awful. That's when the trouble really started for me. It got to the point where I didn't want to go to school. No, even though I loved school so much, I dreaded going to school because I was singled out all the time. Just like people just saying something like, "Oh, you have arthritis, so you can't do this." So I felt like really singled out. And there was one teacher that decided that it was okay because he could see everything from my 504 plan, and he decided that it was okay to tell other classes and other students what I was going through. So I felt like it was me against the world, I guess. And my mom, she helped me, but it just always felt like a constant fight. Um, I felt like I would never ever win. You know, 1 step forward and 2 steps back. That's how I felt all the time. But eventually, I just thought, I can't. Complaining and being sad isn't going to. It's not going to make my arthritis It's not going to make my arthritis going to go away. It's not going to make people understand what I'm going through or understand how to just deal with it, I guess, or how to treat me, how to not treat me differently. So I just stopped being sad, and I thought, why should I fight? So I stopped fighting the schools, and I stopped getting upset whenever somebody would mention my arthritis or when I heard that the teacher was talking about me again. I got tired of fighting. You know, it. I was a little 8th grader. I didn't want to fight anymore. I was tired of it. It's not fair for a middle schooler to have to fight for something that I don't know, that most kids don't have to fight for. So I tried to keep myself happy most of the time. I was sad quite a bit, but when I was by myself. But I acted happy just because I didn't want to be an inconvenience. That's what I felt like all the time. And then my arthritis started getting worse. It started getting a lot worse. At one point, I broke my knee. I know it sounds weird, but I chipped off the end of my femur and it got lodged under my kneecap because of my medication for my arthritis. And so I was on crutches for about 4 months. Um, and then something incredible happened. Someone who I thought would never notice me noticed me. And it was incredible. I know that I was only a middle schooler, and middle schoolers don't know. I guess they don't know what love is, and I'm not saying that I did know what love is, but it's like he was. I don't know how to explain it. I didn't understand why someone like him, a football player, and a very very smart kid, would take the time to pay attention to me when I couldn't do sports, and I was kind of sad a lot. Um, and that kid was Braden. He was he was a superhero to me. He was. I fell head over heels for him. He treated me he treated me a way that I haven't been treated since I was 5 years old. He knew that I could do what I wanted to do, and he knew that I liked to be independent. So he kind of let me do things my own unless I asked for help. Um, we knew each other. We were really good friends for about 6 months, and then on May 17th, 2015, he asked me out. We went to Lava Hot Springs, and we were there all day long. And it was probably it was one of the best days of my life because I felt so different than I had ever before. Um, he was he was my knight in shining armor. He took my life and he changed it completely and for the better. Um, if you're watching this, just know that you changed my life so much and so in such an amazing way, and I'll never be able to thank you. And then came the time to go to high school. I was going to go to Marsh Valley High School, which is right next to the middle school, and it was a little bit bigger, but there was only about 75 to 86 kids in every graduating class. So it's a pretty small school. Everybody kind of knew everything, so everybody knew about my arthritis. And I was pretty scared, because people talk, and I was pretty scared to go to that school where everybody played sports or played an instrument or was in drama. I wasn't into any of those things. I just wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to learn. And I was pretty afraid of going to that school, I guess. That was really, really scary for me because I'm pretty scared. I have a bit of social anxiety. So already I was scared to go into high school and I missed the orientation day, so I didn't know my way around the high school. So that was scary as is. Um, it was, it definitely took my happiness from Braden and slowed that down a little bit. I was just stressed constantly. All summer, I was really upset. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was really afraid. And then my mom came to me and she gave me kind of hope, I guess. So she worked in Pokey at the time. And she'd go in every single day, the perfect time to take a kid to school. And she told me about Pocatello High School. At first I wasn't sure because, again, I have social anxiety, and the thought of being a new student in a school like this was really scary to me. And I know that all the kids, so a bunch of middle schools go to this high school, so I wouldn't be the only one who didn't know people. But to me, that thought was scary. And I knew I'd be leaving Braden and all of my friends. It was going to be a really, really hard transition for me, and I was really, really afraid. But I started talking to Braden and talking to my friends and just asking for help, and I realized, let's try it. So I did. I got the transfer. I signed up for all my classes, and I kind of prepared for the fight. Just prepared to fight the school, and I put on my boxing gloves, and I just thought, bring your best, because I'm going to bring mine. And I was kind of sad to know that I would leave my friends and still have to fight. But then something odd happened. There was no fighting. None. The school gave me what I needed. Um, just a few accommodations, not much. I didn't think it was too much. Um, they gave me everything I needed, and they helped me find my way. There was no fighting. And I felt so free because for the last 10 years of my life, I had dealt with fighting teachers and principals and school boards because of absences or being late to a class or just something that I couldn't control because of my arthritis. And it was amazing to me the way that we shook hands, and that was it. You know, I was treated like a normal person. Like I didn't have something wrong with me and I wasn't sick all the time. That was the one of the biggest changes in my life, and I am so happy that I made the decision to come here. Of course, there are still a few bugs. There's missing assignments that I forget to make up sometimes when I'm gone for doctor's appointments, and of course, my arthritis is never gonna go away. It'll be good. It'll be bad. So there's just a couple bugs that I guess there will always be some bugs, to an extent, but it's not as bad as it was, and I feel so much happier than I ever did at Marsh Valley. That is a terrible computer. I'm so sorry, but me and Braden are still doing good. We Skype every night. Long distance definitely is hard, but we try and see each other as much as possible. And we only live about 20 minutes away from each other. But it's hard when you can't drive and you're just high schooler. But I'm getting my license soon, so yay! I'll be able to see him more often. And he's going to get his too. So we'll definitely be able to see each other a lot more often. And he's been really understanding with my arthritis and the changing schools. He's just been there for me in everything that I've needed. And I really appreciate him for all that he does for me. And it's about to be a year. May 17th will be a year for us, and that's I'm really excited. So the old me was really sad. I was sad constantly, sad, stressed, something. And I felt bullied. I did, by the teachers and by the school and by other kids around me, just all the time. So it was a really bad time for me, middle school, just because kids are mean, but that's okay. Because now I'm in high school. I'm not fighting anyone, and my arthritis is so much better. I've been able to start, I jog sometimes. I can't do it very often, but I do jog sometimes, and I've been trying to get myself a little in shape, so I got all of these muscles, I'm buff, really ripped. Okay, so maybe I'm not ripped, but I'm happy. I'm happy with who I am. I'm tiny, and I'm okay with that. I don't need sports to make myself feel better, and I don't feel so empty, I guess. I know that sounds really cliche, but I don't feel empty anymore because I used to just work my way through every single day, just trudging through the school, going home, going to bed, and repeating it. And now I feel like I'm finally able to live my life the way that I want to, the way a high schooler should be able to. And I just feel so much happier. Marsh Valley was a really good school, and so is Pokey. But Marsh Valley just wasn't the place for me. Marsh Valley is more of a place for sports or musical talent or drama talent. But that's not who I am. And I was being called a gimp or a cripple or just the setback. It was terrible. But when I came to Pokey, I had so many friends, more friends than I ever thought anyone could have. And not one of them ever talked about my arthritis. Never. Unless I brought it up or it was something that, it was just I never felt singled out because of it, and I still don't. I have so many amazing friends, and even when people do find out about my arthritis here in Pokey, they don't they don't treat me differently. They treat me like a person, um, the way that I've always wanted to be treated since I was 5 years old. And I am so happy that I came here. Um, yeah, Pokey has just changed my life so much for the better, and everyone around me has been so supportive of everything that I do. Um, so I guess that's it. This has been my Draw My Life. I know the drawings weren't amazing. It was more write my life because I did write a lot of words, but actually, you know what? No. No, 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 no. This isn't the end. This isn't the end. I'm 15, not 50 or 100. My life is just barely getting started. I have an amazing boyfriend and amazing opportunities lying ahead of me. 15 does not mean that I'm going to die soon. It means that I'm just going to start living. So, this is my Draw My Life. Draw my life. Because this is my life, and I decide who treats me like what. But this is my Draw My Life so far.